Prism, and today for our first post-COVID interview we have with us here Leila Scott. Hello Leila.
Hi, Robert.
Who is the mother of this lovely little pot-belly pig here. She's, how old is she?
She's 9.5 months.
9.5 months. Her name is Trixiebelle, and as you can see, she's quite a handful moving here. And tell us, Leila, what is the story of Trixiebelle? How did you come to adopt Trixiebelle?
Well, I've always loved pigs, and as you might know, I was actually looking after a little pig called Oinky a few years ago, who I had for a month, and sadly he passed away. So since then, I had always kind of wanted to get another pig. And then I saw a post on Facebook. A woman made a post saying that she had piglets for adoption. So I contacted her and I went and saw there were 2 left, and I fell in love with Trixie. And at that point I had moved into my own apartment and the timing was perfect. And yeah, so then I went and picked her up the following week, and that was 3.5 months ago. So,
yeah, in fact, people can see all the time that on your social media that you actually take her out for walks, and we're here at the Marsa Scala Family Park, and as you can see, she's very, very disciplined, quiet, off leash. Did this come natural, or did you have to train her like dogs, basically? How did it come to be?
Well, it was always my intention to take her for walks because I knew that pigs need exercise, and it's nice for her just to explore and be out in nature. The harness was quite tricky in the beginning, like she really didn't let me put it on whatsoever, and finding one that fitted was a bit of a mission, but I managed in the end. Yeah, and then I guess it took me maybe a couple of months. And the only way I can get the harness on is when she's eating, but then I'm able to put it on, and then once it's on, she knows that we're going for a walk, and she was pretty quick to get used to the different noises and dogs on the street and the sound of cars. It didn't take too long. So yeah, now she's just become accustomed to coming out for walks on a daily basis. So.
Yes, in fact, there is a lot of research that akins pigs with dogs, even the amount of the type of intelligence they have, and also they actually have been known to being able to play video games.
Really?
Yes,
wow.
yes. Amazing creatures. How about home training? How did that come about? Did you manage to train her to poo in a particular spot at home? How did it come about?
So the first few days were a bit challenging because she was pooping and peeing everywhere. Well, I had her in one room, and I thought, my goodness, I'm never going to be able to manage to litter train her. But I used a few tactics, and within about 4 or 5 days, she was going outside in one particular place. So it didn't take too long. And nowadays, she only poops when we go for a walk. She never does it in the apartment, even outside. So yeah, so she's
basically litter trained.
She's really fully litter trained, yeah. And she just pees in one spot in the shaft down the drain. Perfect. So I don't have any cleaning up to do.
That's amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Something many of us can actually learn from.
Yeah.
How earlier you mentioned exercise. How important is exercise for Trixiebelle here?
That's really important. Otherwise she would become overweight. So yeah, I take her out every day, and she loves to run, and it's just good as well, just to get for them to kind of get all the energy out, and then they're much better behaved at home, because otherwise she would just become really frustrated and bored, and probably just
bundle of
trash
energy.
everything.
Yes. Like actually, anyone who's had a dog, and anyone who's had a dog, myself included, can actually attest to that. They just need to let the energy out, and they'll be a bit more manageable. That sound is so sweet. How about when it comes to being affectionate? How affectionate would you say Trixiebelle is?
She is really affectionate. Well, I mean, it depends. It depends on her mood. In the evening, she likes to jump up on the sofa. She can manage now. She wasn't able to in the beginning. So she jumps up on the sofa and gets all comfortable and puts her head on my lap, and she loves having her head scratched and her belly scratched. So no, you can really form a bond with a pig. Like once they've gained your trust and love, the bond is really strong, and,
Yes,
you really feel that they love and trust you.
And they're very expressive creatures. I mean, as you pet them, you can actually see a little smile on their faces. You know?
In the evening, you should see her. Like when she's on the sofa and she's so cozy, and I put the blanket on her, there's a smile. Like so, yeah, they're amazing. No, they can be really affectionate for sure. So, I mean, they're very social creatures as well. They just like, you know, ideally, if I had the space, I would get a second pig.
Yes,
because you know, they are very social. But because I work from home, it's really a good situation. So I'm there like most of the time. So she always has to come, and you know, the rabbits are hopping around. So she always has company in one way or another.
Yes, I'm sure. And you mentioned rabbits. How does she go? How does she fare with rabbits? Is she social with other creatures?
The rabbits have never bothered her. And actually, the other day we went for a walk with my friend who has a big, I think Becky. She's a cross between a black Labrador and a pit bull, actually.
All right.
And we introduced Trixie and Becky for the first time. I didn't know how it would go, and they like were fine together. And Becky wanted to play, and Trixie was kind of going along with it. So yeah, like other animals don't bother her. Dogs kind of scared her in the beginning when we started going for walks, but within it didn't take long for her just to get used to dogs.
Yes.
So
I mean, it takes some time to get used to everything.
Yeah, exactly. But they can adapt really fast, actually. Once they know they're safe, and if you're there.
Yes, it's all about trust and building relationships, like everything else in life.
Exactly.
And as everybody can see, she's not that large. However, she's still 9 months old or so.
Yeah.
There's many stories of. Oh no! Look at that.
I knew that would do the job. Once you start tickling the belly, it's like, you know that she's gonna lie down ready for a nice scratch. You can take over if you want to have the phone.
Yes. How would you describe her personality? How would you describe it?
She can be very stubborn. That's one of her more negative personality traits. Like she does what she wants, and you have to go along with it. But no, she's very sweet, very gentle. She makes me laugh every day. The things she does. She's just a real joy to have around. She's always making me laugh. So no, she that's her personality really, and very loving.
Yes, I'm sure. There's such a thing, because you hear a lot of stories. Like, is there such a thing like a teacup pig? You know.
So I think the term miniature pig.
Yes.
I think a lot of people are under the impression that they're going to get a pig that's going to stay mini forever. But they are called miniature pigs, but they do grow to be between 50 and 150 pounds.
Yeah, it's about 70 kilograms.
Yeah. So pigs keep growing up until the age of about 3. So Trixie's 9.5 months, so she will carry on growing. So miniature pigs, they are much smaller than the commercial pigs that are obviously bred. Unfortunately.
So they become like the size of these big, like either huskies or I was Saint Bernard dogs, you know, like these big dogs kind of.
Yeah, maybe a bit smaller.
In terms of weight, at least.
Yeah, because I guess they got the belly on them, haven't they?
Yes, I mean they're known as pot bellies because their belly is literally like
I think
a
she's
pot,
a bit of a mix, yeah. Because you also get the most common miniature pigs are pot bellies and Juliana pigs. I don't know exactly what she is, but I think she does look like she has some pot belly in her.
But there's an amount how much she will grow. Of course, she's not a hog at the end of the day. These really big hogs. I'm sure she'll grow more, but there is obviously a limit. It's very curious.
Yeah.
What do you feed her on a daily basis? What is her food?
So I feed her pig pellets, which I get from the pet shop. So actually, pigs are really cheap to feed. Trixie's going to see who that is there. She's really curious. That's another thing I can say about her personality.
Yeah.
So
Curious but
Cautious.
Cautious.
yeah, yeah, curious but cautious, indeed. So no, in terms of when I first got her, she would be absolutely freaking out at that. Like, she was so scared if the dog barked, or even if a car went by when I was trying to train her in the beginning. And now it's just amazing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, she's just wondering about who's on the other side of the gate, you know.
She's come such a long way. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Chicks!
And basically, as you can see, how does she get along with is this her normal reaction here?
Yeah, like, I think she's not really, like, scared of dogs like she used to be. I think she just kind of got to realise that they're not going to hurt her. I mean, most of them are on leads anyway, and the owners are there, and I kind of just avoid them if I'm walking along, but yeah, she doesn't seem too phased. But no, going back to the food question you asked me, pigs are actually really cheap to feed because it costs me €8 for a bag of 25 kilograms of pig pellets, which lasts for ages. And then I just give her a lot of vegetables, and there are a few fruit and vegetable trucks near to where I live, so they all say to me, like, yeah, you know, come in the evening and we'll give you lots of, you know, the leftovers for free. So I often go there at like 6, 7 at night, and then they give me this big bag of like cabbage leaves and broccoli leaves and carrots and tomatoes, and I take it back and I say, Trixie, look what I got for you. So yeah. So no, that they're really not expensive to kind of feed, which is good.
Yes, very much, yes, because there's a lot of expensive pet food out there.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I think it's much more expensive to feed cats or dogs, I would say.
Yes, if you want high quality food, yes, very much.
And they can be vegan as well, because they're omnivores. So she obviously only eats plants like me, so it makes it much easier too.
You set up dinner, you know, together.
Yes, nice romantic candlelit vegan dinner.
Have you had her spayed?
I have had her spayed. So initially when I got her, it wasn't something I was going to do. I hadn't really looked into it actually. And then once I did a bit of research, I came to the conclusion that it was definitely the best thing for her well-being, her overall well-being. Because female pigs go into heat every 21 days, and then they become very moody, they can be very destructive, and they can be aggressive towards other animals. Obviously I've always got the rabbits running around, so I didn't want to take any chances there. They can pee and poop I read all about it, and I was like, hey, I need to get her spayed. So I booked her in, and I found a vet that did it in Hambrun called Animal Doctors, so I really recommend actually. And the operation was quite straightforward. Like within I would say 3 days, she seemed to be kind of back to normal, just kind of going around, and so
very good.
Yeah. So no, I'm glad I got it done, obviously. And then she got chipped as well, because by law you have to have chips. You have to have pigs chipped and registered. Chips pigged and registered. So yeah. So yeah, I had her chipped as well while we were there.
Yeah, further on this issue, is there any legal requirements for people to adopt a pig? Yeah, because they're obviously traditionally known as farm animals, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But is there any legal... Are there any legal requirements for someone to have a pig as a pet?
Yes. So by law, if you have a male, you have to have him neutered.
Okay.
Females, you don't have to have spayed, although I said I would strongly advise doing it. And then they have to be chipped and registered. So the chip costs about 20-25 euros, and then the registration is about 30 euros. And that you have to, and you cannot own more than I don't like that word. You cannot
adopt,
or have two, or be the carer of more than 2 pigs.
in the same household.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Which makes sense because otherwise it leaves a lot of space for abuse, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
Which shit happens.
Yeah.
We obviously know with most pets, I mean most cats have to have their nails trimmed. There are some dogs which have to have the same thing. Do you have to trim her?
Her hooves?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. So they do need something nice. She loves scratching.
Yes.
Like
everyone has an itch sometimes, you know?
Yeah. I have a big rock in my kitchen, and and she
Well, we all itch, you know, and everybody has to scratch the itch, so why not, you know?
I had to have, because they like biting things as well, like rocks and stuff, and so I had to have corner protectors put on all my corners, because she was just taking chunks out my corners in my flat, and I was like, the whole building's gonna fall down.
Out of the wall?
Yeah, like, you know, like the corners of the walls.
Yes.
Yeah. So their big chunks were being hacked out.
Yeah,
so.
I mean their teeth, they're immensely
really
strong
sharp.
because pigs in their natural environment, they literally dig up the ground and eat from whatever they find beneath the ground. So
you need just a bit of music.
Yes.
Yeah, it's called rooting. They love rooting. So yeah, you asked me a question. What was it?
About trimming her hooves. Yes.
Yeah, so pigs need to get their to have their hooves trimmed. I think it might be every 6 months or so. But she hasn't obviously got to a point yet when she needs some trimming. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not looking forward to when I have to do that.
Yes.
But although saying that, I'm always touching her hooves, and when she's on the sofa, I always. Like,
and I'm sure if you take her out
she'll be
frequently,
okay.
like you do every day, that lengthens the amount of time required.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that she's gonna let me trim them when the time comes without too much objection.
Yes, have you found someone that would trim her hooves, or maybe you're looking to buying a tool?
Yeah, probably yourself? Buy a tool and try and do it myself.
Yes.
But I know a woman who does home visits to Marscal every month, a vet. Actually, she works at the vet in Nashar. I can't remember the name, but her mum has a pig. Actually, she's very experienced with pigs. So if I don't manage, I can ask her to come and do it for me.
Yes. And would you think it would be a good idea for, you know, we have dog sanctuaries, we have cat sanctuaries. Do you think it's high time Malta has its first pig sanctuary?
Oh, that would be amazing. I would love it. I would volunteer for sure.
Yes, there are many. Unfortunately, we sometimes hear reports of pigs in the street and let go for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll find many corners where they can scratch the itches that they have.
Yeah, for sure.
And
it'd be perfect.
Yes, definitely. Finally, are there any recommendations which you would give someone who maybe sends you a message or tells you that they're thinking of adopting a pig as a pet? Would you have any recommendations for them?
I don't think anything can prepare you for having a pet pig. It's an adventure. As I said, they can be very demanding and very stubborn, and they do throw tantrums, and they can be really noisy as a result. And when I say noisy, I mean noisy. Now she looks like a little angel, but I swear to you, like, you haven't seen the other side. So
it sounds like you're talking about human children, you know?
She sounds like she's but she screams like you would think it was a kid. Like,
yes.
Many noises. They have so many different sounds, all loud. So just make sure you have very nice neighbours who are going to be very accepting, and
they definitely draw interest.
No, it's true. And just pigs need company, you know, like don't think you can have a full-time job and just keep a pig at home and expect to come home and the pig's all happy on the sofa. Like, your apartment will probably be trashed. So they really need they need a lot of mental stimulation because they get bored really easily. So you do need to dedicate time and energy, but the rewards you get back are worth it.
Yes.
It's the most rewarding thing. So
It's like most commitments. I mean, it's like having a dog. You can't just have a dog and throw him in the sofa. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you very much, Leila.
You're very
Great
welcome.
to have you.
Thank you too. And she eats quite a lot. Yeah, she's still quite young, so.
So yes, thank you for
thank
your
you.
time, Leila, and we'll be sure to follow Trixiebelle in her many adventures.
Good, thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
and catch you on the next one.